let's get right into the stories. We want to do a quick review, just a few bits of what the President spoke on yesterday at the State of the Nation's address. Let's take a look at some quick sound bites from the President's speech.
With the growing insurgency in the West African sub-region, President Akufo-Addo in his State of the Nation address to Parliament on Tuesday has assured that Ghana's territory is safe and secured under the government.
Mr. Speaker, I'm glad to be able to report that the entire territory that makes up our nation is safe, secure, and under the control of the government and people of Ghana. This might sound like a pedestrian statement with which to start a message on the state of the nation. Unfortunately, far from it being an everyday truism, this is no longer a statement or claim that can be easily made in these times in the neighborhood in which we are. West Africa is under threat of terrorism and violent extremism, rapidly spreading southwards from the Sahel to coastal West Africa. We can no longer take the territorial integrity of our countries for granted. Indeed, many of our neighbors have already fallen victim and lost large portions of their territories to extremist groups. And Ghana, by the grace of the Almighty, is the only coastal state along the Gulf of Guinea that has so far not recorded a terrorist attack. The Speaker, the peace and security we have in our country has not happened by chance. It has taken deliberate policy and planning on the part of government and a lot of hard work and dedication on the part of our security services to keep our country safe and secure.
He also bemoaned the impact of the Boko conflict on development in that part of the country.
Whilst we're spending time, money, and energy and lives keeping the country safe from external dangers, I must add that it is a matter of great concern that we continue to have so many chieftaincy and land disputes around the country, which tend to be breeding grounds for internal tensions and destabilization. Mr. Speaker, I must make special mention of the troubles in Boko. The tragedy is not only that a thriving and dynamic town is being reduced to a wasteland of destruction and distrust. We're spending money and energy that would have been better spent on development needs of Boko, providing security to keep brothers and sisters from killing each other. Mr. Speaker, what should concern all of us, and not just the people of Boko, is that in its current state, Boko is an alluring magnet to mischief makers and extremists operating a few kilometers away from the border.
All right, so there you have it. For those of you who missed the entire State of the Nation's address, it's just some sound bites from there. But we're going to get right into the conversation this morning. And we'll begin, of course, with I want to find out from my guests what their various, thoughts are on the general State of the Nation's address itself. So let me start with you, Ellen. Yeah. So your general thoughts on the President's delivery.
Good morning to our viewers, and it's a pleasure to be back on Citi.
It's good to have you here.
Yes. Well, the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, by God's grace, is finishing his term as President of Ghana. And as our Constitution demands, he has to come and tell all of us what he's been up to, the state in which he was given, the country was handed over to him, and the state in which he is going to leave it to us. He's still left with one more of the State of the Nation address. That should be, I believe,
So January
7th, yes. But this particular State of the Nation address actually gives him the opportunity to let us know exactly what has happened in his term of office, at least for the past 4 years. I know he gave one when the first term was ending. And from what I heard yesterday, he just put everything that he has been through or what he believes the State of the Nation should be in the last 7 years. His particular mention of our security situation and Boku, for me, is important because he's put in a lot of effort to solve a lot of chieftaincy issues across the country. In his first time, if you remember, he was able to get the people of Dagon to, get themselves together. And so far, they are maintaining it. He got the eminent committees of chiefs led by the Asantehene to deal with it. I believe now the Asantehene is also leading the Boku one. I don't know if
he's been involved in that.
He's been involved in it. Yeah. And it was imperative that he makes us know that as much as we don't talk much about it, it is a nagging situation that we should speak to our brothers and our sisters up north and in Boku. That all the money that this nation is putting in to make sure that you do not kill yourselves. And the sad thing is that they are one big family.
Yeah.
They are one big family.
As is the case in a lot of conflicts.
I mean, it's so sad. And it's been on for years and years and years. The current people who are fighting this current war, I do not think they even know how this whole thing started. They even understand it. And the amounts of monies that are going into, as the president said, we could easily have used that money to develop Boku. Those who know the place very well, the first time I went to Boku, it was in the situation that it is now. Okay. But when you speak to those who come from there and people who have been there over years ago, they said the place was like Techiman.
So I've heard.
It was a market,
it was a very bustling
trade area. That was an intersection for people coming from outside Ghana, from Burkina, and then all around the northern parts of Ghana. They have single-handedly by themselves destroyed this. So if the president wants to bring that into focus, I think it is good. And we should remind our brothers and sisters in Boku that what they are doing it to themselves. All of us, yes, will pay for it. After all, it is our taxes that are being used to keep the police and the military there. So we would all pay. But they bear the brunt of what is happening. The women and the children in Boku are tired. Look, ordinary people who go there to work. I had a sad incident 2 years ago when I had to attend the funeral of a 27-year-old nurse who was sitting behind a motorbike going to work, and she was shot. She's the niece of Honorable Titus Glover. Okay. And her crime was that she's a nurse, she's finished her job, she was posted to Boku hospital, and she was going to work. I've had interactions with colleagues they are not from Boku, but especially with the Presbyterian hospital in Boku, one of the biggest hospitals there. One of my colleagues was the administrator there. And at a point, he was telling me that they were packing off. They were closing down the hospital and leaving because their staff, the doctors were leaving, the nurses were leaving. Everybody was leaving because they are in danger. So the problem is not just with the people who are fighting and the indigents. People who are from outside and they are coming to work there to make sure your town also grows are also dying. So we beg them. I would stand on what the president said, that for the past 7 years he's been trying. It's not everything that he can tell us, but it's obvious he's been trying. The Asantehene is involved. I've seen their chiefs going to the Manshia Palace and all that. All of them should calm down. You know that because of their behavior, special courts have been set up in Accra. If a crime happens in Boku, you'll be sent down to Accra, and you would get yours very, very fast. Why do we do this to ourselves? Yeah.
Okay, so apart from the security situation, any other things for you?
Oh, there are lots of things I want to talk about. If you want me to go...
No. I just wanted your overview.
I mean, the security issue at Boku is a special thing to me because I have people there who have gone through it, and we have to talk about it.
Your general impressions of the State of the Nation's address?
Good morning. To our cherished viewers, and good morning to my co-panelists and to you as well. For me, it's quite disappointing, the State of the Nation address. I would consider it as a handing over speech he gave yesterday. I see it as very hollow. I see it as uninspiring. I see it as an address that doesn't give hope to youth that are unemployed and looking up and hoping that he would come to give them hope. But then the true state of the nation is the massive corruption we are seeing in this government, is the unprecedented hardship that Ghanaians are going through, the skyrocketing unemployment statistics that we are seeing under his watch. That is the true state of the nation address. He mentioned in his last, one of his paragraphs that the macroeconomic indicators are pointing towards the right direction. And I was just wondering if the president is really in touch with reality in Ghana. Well, no wonder, probably he doesn't go to the market. He does not pay electricity bill. He doesn't pay water bill. So he doesn't really feel what the ordinary Ghanaian are going through. Talking about macroeconomic indicators, you ask yourself, if you say it's pointing towards the right direction, what were the macroeconomic metrics that was, how was it when His Excellency President Mahama handed over power to him? What was the metrics? It shows that every metric is deteriorating under his watch, under his presidency.
Yeah, but
you talk about inflation.
No, but
inflation
Prof,
in 2016.
Prof,
yes.
Prof, we already know that when he took over, whatever the metrics were, there was a lot of progress, there was a lot of growth, 2017, 2018, and then the government says that it was the time that COVID hit that everything started to spiral out of control. So what we have here is a situation that is a recovering situation from 2020, 2021 year. And that's what he's referring to.
Look, you cannot look at the growth in 2017 and say that his presidency did well. In 2017, what did he put in place to see the growth he saw in 2017? World Bank projected that Ghana was going to have a high rate of growth in 2017. Even before 2017, there were projections.
So you are saying that he had nothing to do with it?
So he has nothing to do with it. I mean, you cannot come and harvest something when you have not planted anything. You cannot take credit for whatever that the growth he saw in 2017 because he did not invest in the economy.
Your thoughts on the Boku situation?
No, we are talking about the state of the nation address.
Yes,
and
yes,
I am
yes.
saying that the president
we'll take our bits and
cannot
pieces to talk
say
about,
that.
so.
The president cannot say that things are getting better because we are comparing his tenure as president and that of his predecessor, His Excellency John Mahama.
That's what you want to do this morning. You
It
want to
is
do a
not about,
comparison.
we are talking about how you manage the country. In your term as president and how it was when you took over. That is the comparison we are talking about.
But that's
why
what
would you
I'm
want to
doing this morning. I wanted
compare
to ask you your
the
opinion
time
on the state of the nation's address?
Yes, I
Your
am
general
saying
thoughts.
that my general thought is that he lost the opportunity of giving hope to Ghanaians.
Okay,
That was
fair
what
enough.
we were looking out
Okay,
for.
fair
We
enough.
were looking out for a speech to tell us that things are bad and these are the measures
But he
are
admitted
put in place
that he was responsible for the difficulties and the challenges
Yes,
that...
if you admit, it is not enough for you to just admit that things are bad. But what are the steps, what steps is he taking to make sure that things get better? For example, some of us were expecting that when we were talking about reshuffling, he would even think about maybe collapsing some of the ministry or merging some of the ministry or reducing the
fair enough.
ministers.
Please wrap it up
But
on
the
your-
same people that were in the realm of
Yeah.
affairs are the same people,
Yeah.
he's just gone round,
Okay.
reshuffling them. So the true state of the nation is the hardship the individuals are going on. It's the loss of our purchasing power, is the high unemployment rate. You know, where somewhere last month or two, we're talking about 14%.
Okay.
Now statistics shows that it has increased to 14.7%. That is the true state of the nation.
No problem. Your thoughts on his comments on Boku?
I don't know why you are pointing
Because
towards
that's the
Baku,
conversation we're having this morning.
The conversation we have is the state of the nation.
You don't want to talk about Boku?
I'm talking about Boku is just one of the indicators or the points he talked about.
I'm guiding this meeting, this conversation.
Yes, but then the issue is, what is my impression about the state of the nation? They are more pressing issues.
I've gone past that, and I want to talk about Boku.
Well, I don't know why you are narrowing down on Boku, but then the reality is that, yes, Boku case had been there time immemorial, and as citizens or as the leader of the nation, it's part of his mandate to make sure that there is peace and tranquility in all places, including Boku. So of course our security agencies have mandates to make sure that they protect citizens within the enclave of Boku. And also the Council of
Security Council.
The Security Council, yes, are also to make sure that they beef up security, to make sure that individual citizens are protected whilst they try to find amicable solution to the ongoing conflict in Boku. We've witnessed this over the years, and we all know that, of course, conflict delay development in every area that we have these occurrences going on. And so I will call on the Peace Council and also the security agencies to beef up the security, whilst Peace Council also try to find the lasting solution to Boku case. But having said that, of course, that does not stop us from really talking about the hardship and the difficult times Ghanaians are going through. And I think that whilst it's important to talk about Boku case and the fact that there's a need for peace to prevail there, they are equally very pressing issues that the ordinary Ghanaian, the youth out there that have completed school for the past 7 years at home without a job, people who have lost their job because of their reckless decision of collapsing banks instead of trying to save banks. The decision of not going
I'm not
to
sure
IMF
why
at
it is
the
that you
right
want to set
time.
your own questions
I
and
am not
answer them this
setting.
morning.
This is
Well,
the
I'll
true
come back to
state
you
of,
on
because
the
of what I am not setting my own question.
I'll come back to
That
you
is the
after
true
this
state
one.
of the nation.
Okay, no problem.